again, homies, to Challengers OQs. And Ravish's most ravishing man on the internet, joined here once again by my side by the absolutely incredulous Mr. Marcus Wong. What's up?
Hey, how's it going? Is incredulous a word? That's the first time I've ever heard that before.
It is a word. I think it means frustrated or not super happy.
Oh, cool. Okay. Good to know, I guess. Thank you.
You know what? You're welcome. I just wanted to reflect however you were feeling when you're wearing that black turtleneck as though you slipped back into your MCR days. So welcome to the Black Parade, everybody. I'm Ravish. This is Marcus. Let's do what your father didn't tell you.
I will have you know that this is actually dark blue, but just because of the lighting, it looks a little bit darker, okay? So for what it's worth, we're not falling back into the emo era just yet, which is also it's Valentine's Day. So that's kind of funny that you would mention that. But regardless, we're not here to talk about that.
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And for all of you who are single, sucks to suck. Find somebody. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to, of course, our bracket for the evening. Of course, this is Challengers OQs. This is numero dos. We're up in the upper bracket as well. A lot of teams we've said bye-bye to, and a decent amount we'll say hello to as we continue on, as we see it right here. Now, our match, of course, will be QOR versus Lucky 7. But if you look at the bracket here, Marcus Wong, some oohs and ahs, thoughts, yes?
Yeah, I mean, also, too, just to kind of lay the groundwork here, give you guys the context so you understand what's going on. Only 2 teams from this entire bracket are going to be able to qualify from it. 4 challengers. In Open Qualifier 1, there were 4 teams, but unfortunately, we're only down to 2 slots, meaning one team has to make a flawless win through this entire round of 32, and then the other one can only afford 1 matched loss, but otherwise has to play flawlessly to secure their spot. But like you said, we're already up in the upper semifinals, meaning that we're getting closer and closer, at least to figuring out who our first team to enter into challengers from this tournament is going to be, and that's where it gets exciting.
Exactly that, right? Because after this is all there is to it. It is 4 teams to make it into Challengers. 2 already have, being Winthrop and 1 more. And now the next 2 will be crowned, both 1 today and 1 tomorrow as well. That's going to be an incredible time for those of you. It's going to be tough, right? Which is why every single one of these games matters, because their year may as well just end here. And the teams that we want to look at today, of course, we want to make it all the way through, are QOR and Lucky 7. We're hoping for the chance at that spot.
Yeah, and once again, that is our first matchup for the day that we're going to be covering here on the main stream. QOR against Lucky 7, which honestly, Ravish, this seems like it's going to be an extremely interesting game. On one hand, you have QOR coming in, a squad that's been playing together for so long. You know, they've got all the foundations there. They are looking to secure their spot into Challengers. On the other hand, we've got Lucky 7 bringing in quite a few pretty recognizable names, top tier talent, honestly, coming in, making this squad together, and quite frankly, they've been looking extremely good in this tournament thus far.
Now, both of them actually did compete with the exact same squad in both OQ1s as well. Both of these squads as well just went out in, I believe, lower round 3 and low round 4. So just a couple BO3 shy of being able to qualify once again. And of course, losing in very close fashions on both of the series that they did manage to go down to. And now, once again, it'll be up to them to come on forward. QOR, on one hand, has held a completely dominant streak throughout the entire qualifier, not dropping a single map, and the most they've given up is about 10 rounds. On the other hand, for Lucky 7, they've dropped a couple here and there, and it's been very close so far, so there are definitely some holes within their overall defenses specifically, and we'll see if they manage to pick those up today, because as you mentioned, Marcus, every game, every round counts.
Yeah, on top of that too, I mean, when you look at Lucky 7's matchup in the actual bracket too, they've gone up against, they did drop some maps, right? But that was against the St. Clair Saints' Ambrosia, which both teams honestly making a really good run in the Open Qualifier 1 bracket as well. So, you know, you lose a map here, you lose a map there, it kind of makes sense compared to the matchup that QOR have had in this bracket leading up to this. They've fought Mad Science, Resonate, and Crime City, who were all looking pretty darn good. But once again, they've got a very strong QOR, pun intended, and they looked very dominant. 2 zeros across the board all the way through this entire bracket, and they're hoping to keep that train running.
Exactly that, right? And speaking of the QOR, we can also talk about how they might do in terms of the maps, picks, and bans, which I believe we're already akin to as well. So we'll be taking a look at those in a little bit of seconds. But let's go back onto the QOR that you were talking about, as you chose to butcher their name and say it oh so explicitly. And Core's actual core being, of course, Ziff, Snarly, T-Dog, Nerve, and Zeldris, right? Now, these guys in general have had fantastic games so far. Each one of them, too, have a hero performances in almost all their maps. In fact, in the early rounds, if you look at the round differential, you're looking at 13 threes, 13 ones, just complete shutouts at certain points. So dominance has been the name of the game. I find specifically some players to watch on the squad as well. I believe you mentioned before when we were talking, Melkers, you know, think with people like Ziff and Zeldris, who've been racking up the scoreline way at the top of the leaderboard.
I mean, yeah, too. I think even one of the trivia questions that happened during the break was like, who's got the highest ACS or something like that? And Zeldris' name is on that list. So I think that just goes to show you right off the bat, like, you know, this is good. This is a very experienced squad. And on the other side, Lucky 7, I mean, we've got very familiar names: Trick, Chloric, Ferbsa, Konpeki, and Will. Once again, Will has been on the 100 Thieves roster, and Konpeki was on the Sentinels roster, but of course Trick playing on Mad Lions before. So these guys, they've got that tournament experience, and so they know how this whole thing goes down, and they're itching to get right back into that type of level.
In fact, both Trick and Will playing on Mad Lions and Dark Ratio together as well, too. But let's see where we'll be playing today in terms of our maps here, Marcus. Because I feel like, you know, I already kind of know, and you may know, but now everybody else knows as well, as we have Sunset, Icebox, and Breeze.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the statistics for how these maps have been going during the Open Qualifiers, this makes 100% sense. Obviously, if you are Lucky 7, you are a really liking Sunset. And so obviously that's going to be your very first map pick. Of course, then Core just decided to go to Icebox, which I think is a little bit more of a counter pick because Lucky 7 haven't looked historically really good at Icebox. And then if map number 3 comes out, then Breeze is going to come through, which might be a little bit more of a coin flip as to which one of these teams will be able to win this one out. Because unfortunately, based on the last Open Qualifier as well as this one, Breeze just hasn't been played that much for both these teams.
Exactly, because I would have expected Breeze been the ban and Ascent be the one to go through at least by the third, because, you know, Ascent has been the map that both these teams have played the most, and one they've actually looked the most comfortable. In fact, it's the map that they have the most wins onto. It's a map that I find both Core and Lucky 7 have just looked very competitive, and at times a little bit shaky, but overall though, you know, comfort for everybody. But Breeze, as you're mentioning, can truly be a roll back and forth if it does come to that either way though. Because I believe, Core has played this once in OQ1, and Lucky 7 has also played this once in this OQ as well. So really not a ton to go on for either one of these sides. But as we look to get into the game in just a little bit, we'll see what Sunset looks like. As you know, we were talking about it before. This map for both these teams looks good, Marcus.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, Core coming in here with a 75% win rate, once again based on Open Qualifier 1 and this one, and Lucky 7 coming in with an 83% win rate. But one of the things to really note about this Lucky 7 team is just in general, for all of the maps that they play, they very heavily favor the attacking side. Their attacking side win rate is just completely higher than their defensive side win rate. And so if you're coming into this one, you know, you would imagine that Core, while they do look a little bit better on the attack when it comes to Sunset, they really have to strap down on that defense. If they can shut out a lot of those rounds, then it just makes it that much easier for them to be able to just overwhelm the Lucky 7 defense. So that would be kind of the point of pressure that Core is hopefully moving into this map with, and just trying to win those defensive rounds.
Exactly that. Now, on the other end, though, for Lucky 7, though, if we go and take a quick little look, see, yes, I believe they're on attack first here, too, right? For where they're starting up. Yeah, if we look at it, yes, they are indeed. So, with that attacking half, the Lucky 7 will need to have a really good performance. We're talking about racking up numbers upon numbers. We're looking at 8 4s, maybe 9 3s, 10 2s if you got it in you. Because if once things switch around, Core comes alive.
Yeah,
and I don't think they're gonna give it to him, honestly.
Yeah, that's kind of been the strategy. If you're looking at Lucky 7's map history for a lot of these things, they're like, okay, well, let's do the attack. Let's be just absolutely dominant on the attack. And that way we don't have to win as many on the defense, and we can just kind of win the map that way. And so at that, like, kind of like you said, it is really interesting because Core was the one who decided to start on to defense here. But all right, let's get into it now. We do have our agent select ready to go, so we can stop being all wishy-washy about what these teams might be doing. Let's take a look at what their comps are going to be.
I find with the Sunset comp say they've pretty much ran this exact thing each and every single time. I find pretty standard across the board, almost mirror comps between the two of them, right? Like Kanpeki playing out the Breach, Chloric with on the Cypher, and the Omen, Sova, and of course Raze. Much more standard for this the map as well. I find there's been change-ups for bringing in Fade as well. Aside from the Breach in general, but it's just about the area-wide coverage, which we're comfortable on as a whole. But I find both Breach and Fade can be interchanged because of the utility and how much area they do manage to cover. Otherwise, for now though, this is what they've done. Nothing out of the ordinary.
No, historically speaking, this is the exact same compositions that they've been running every single time. And I actually want to highlight something here, specifically the Cypher pick. I think that Cypher just is so good on Sunset. There's so many little fun spots you can set up your camera to get very early on information, very up high, which makes it so much more important. But something that kind of goes a little bit underrated is that there's a lot of one-way smoke spots that you can kind of set up those cyber traps with, especially too, you put the tripwires, you shut down a lot of information, especially with how much maneuverability you have on mid with. Cypher is one of those picks that, like, especially on this map, I think is extremely strong. But we're going to be getting into this one already. Looking at how Core is setting up this defense, we're seeing a lot of pressure on A and a lot of pressure on mid right off the bat.
Yeah, actually just the double satchel all the way out through mid as well. So we're seeing them waste no time at all. Zeldris wants to fight right away, going into the spawn. He has triple stack with two of his teammates and past the smoke. Look at Nerve. He's gonna get swung. Oh, and he almost gets one here. A lot of damage being put down. See the second one push back. Concussed. T-Dog only get one with a dart. As Lucky 7 start off good.
Yeah, and that was just such a good coordination of utility coming through as well. The stun comes up and it's just an easy, quick little kill. And honestly, Lucky 7, they pretty much walk away more or less unscathed. They did lose their Raze just on the other side of the map, but now it's going to be a fight for this A site.
Watch him walk in. Ooh, Chloric with the swing. Immediate response, unable to do much past that. It was Ziff and Zeldris left on the outside. Outbars they look kind of low. Kanpeki the responds in kind. The right click for victory, and with just Zeldris left. He has the nade, but he's trying to just get one here. Good shots. Repositions into the corner. And the nade actually stopped them from pushing against him. Still in a 1v3 though. Shot darts will do a bit of damage, but their position on all three different corners here, Marcus, this is nigh impossible.
Yeah, I mean, just with all of the crossfires being set up, it was impossible to really get that win. Sure, yeah, you got the Ghost, should be able to pop ahead here or there, but if they all swung out at the same time, then there was zero chance that defuse was going to be coming through. But honestly, excellent start for Lucky 7 here, Rav.
Yeah, they did quite well, like you're saying. There was a very aggressive start coming out from Core, though, where they tried to catch them off guard, but unfortunately, at Lucky 7, were stacked up, they were ready. Nothing was suddenly caught them. Everyone is set up right now as well, too. It should be a quick little peek out of B for the dart to go right into the spawn. The Capture will spot that here, too. Let's see if they're caught by it.
Oh boy, T-Dog actually going for the advanced position to grab the orb. I think that more or less is going to seal the deal on that life.
Yeah, that's just... It was a bit overzealous from him. I can understand him wanting to try to get the orb, maybe get the ultimate online a little bit earlier, but gives up his life for a no trade as well to come from that site, giving up.
And I like this too, just immediate domination of the site, taking so much space for Lucky 7. They're already ready to go. Core with this retake, they're stacking themselves up, the fault line ready.
I see 3 waiting on the outside to walk in, probably past the paranoia if they can find it. They get the concuss on the spawn. Ooh, but the Ares does his job. So to spray through, not expecting one more perhaps. Spraying one stock in, but pre-fire gets him. Zeldris to takes 2. Quick little digs, but may not matter. But hey, they got 2 guns out of their hands.
Yes, but at the same time, I think if you are Lucky 7, you're pretty happy with how that round was going to be able to play out. Naturally. I mean, given the fact that you're able to carry that weaponry over will allow for a more standard bonus coming through. But this is more or less what we expected to see from this Lucky 7 squad on their attack. I mean, obvious domination there. T-Dog immediately gets caught out, but the utility that is getting used and chained together is so aggressive forwards. We're not using it to zone people out. We're not really using it to get this space. It's to go for kills. And right now, Lucky 7 have been very on top of it, with now Core able to get the challenge because they will have weaponry this time. These fault lines, though, have been absolutely deadly coming in from Lucky 7, and they get ready to go again, but Ziff just kind of gives up the site.
Yeah, Ken Peck has done a really good job of setting his team to walk into these sites when he's actually managed to block out pretty clear lanes where you're looking for trades, and with that, Core is going to look for a full retake on their end. Oh no, oh well.
It was ambitious at best, but I don't think that's going to be good. An excellent flash to just stall for more time. More importantly, allows for the cross here. Core got to start moving.
Yes, they do. That's one taken away, but they're holding all these corners once more. Furbsa are able to get one. T-Dog to walk in, kicks 3 for himself. And T-Dog cleans up the round to keep 4 guns alive.
I think that's a little bit of retribution for what happened on that last round. Just T-Dog immediately getting shut out by some paint shells as well as an aftershock. Everything just kind of tossed at the bag. And that time T-Dog comes out on top. Excellent aim as always. Something that we would expect from T-Dog. And now is able to get that Hunter's Fury online so early on, round 4. Not to mention that Zeldris also has the showstopper. So Core do have the advantage here. And I think if you are Core, you want this round to be yet another one that you are able to win. It would set back the economy for Lucky 7 quite a little bit. And so I think that those ultimates are going to 100% be at play. Lucky 7 getting ready once again to go for this B-side rush. A little bit of information given on A, but this time looks like it might be a little bit of a slower play.
Yeah, they decide not to push full into B once more. They've usually just been using the fault line to clear out lane and then go right into B through entrance past the smokes, but instead be a quick peek through mid. They found nothing at all. They regroup as 4, leaving the Sova on the outside to re-clear us to B, to notice any counter pushes, but nothing found just yet. It'll be a mid to B push.
It's very slow, but there's a trap wire there, and I think that that is going to be the biggest piece of information. T-Dog is going to get stunned out, but will escape, so Hunter's Fury still in play here.
Has more than enough to get out, and exactly what you pointed out, the Hunter's Fury. The first tag finds none. One more should be able to do it. Walking into Ziff. Not able to get it. The rocket as well to whipping on the outside. Razor Cow. Oh, man. That cost them immediately. They'll take 2 from that because all of them stay alive. They spray them down to the entrance. The smoke drops, but way too late. Core get 2 back. It's a 3v2.
And it's so slow now, but keep in mind, Snarly's still available, so they're just waiting for that fault line to come back online. One Paranoia available for Nerve as well, so they do have some tools to make this one work.
Right there.
They're holding as well, like, you know, playing off each other's cross as well. Oh, they get spotted on this spike. They can just swing it and spray it. Fault line concuss, he's a little bit off. Y'all gotta ping it. Someone has to push him. He's just holding. Furbsa gets it. Snarly takes 2 on the outside and almost made it. If Furbsa was in front, that could have been a different game.
Oh no, Ravish. I mean, I said it at the top of that last round. That was the round that they wanted to win. Core were very much looking to be able to secure that round, and they tossed both of their ultimates very early on, but Lucky 7, I mean, they're ducking, they're dodging everything flying their way. They got out completely unscathed. I don't even think a tag came on that Hunter's Fury, which is kind of insane. So Lucky 7, they drain out the ultimates and win the round. An excellent position for them to be in, and now Furbsa also has that showstopper online as well. If they do decide to go quick, they have that option very much available.
Yeah. But it may not be as quick as they wanted to be. Put out the cage, the Gibson is a cover. Let's see if Big Furb can get anything with his own showstopper. Shot out into spawn. Yeah. No one there.
And honestly, this is good from Core. They just give up the site, decide to play retake together. Rolling Thunder coming through, though, gonna stall it out even more as they go in.
Oh, yeah. It's just a firing range with all 3 of them set up. Just shoot them all there. Strongly quick on the peak, especially with on the save, too. And Core finding everything they want. It's still a 4v3. They have man advantage.
T-Dog trying to get information, but gunfight going to be going out. Doesn't matter. Core have the site right now. Ravicious is good for them.
Yeah, this is great. In fact, this is one by one. They've taken it all back. They're just diffusing. Spray works out, but just Chlorth left. And he can't stop all 3 of them. Core with the retake. Do it once again.
Oh, man. Felt like Core there. They were in the best position because Lucky 7 kind of fumbled the spaghetti. We saw that Rolling Thunder come out from Konpeki as soon as the spike goes down. And to be fair, Core were more or less grouped up. But the fact of the matter is it was a very much just a blind push and having faith that they were going to be able to catch all 5 of them in the ultimate. So it was going to be easy pickings. But the fact of the matter was Snarly was ready for that, shuts them down. They make the call to retreat, but the spike isn't planted for them. So it very quickly falls apart. It went from a very confident play to being one that just kind of didn't look combobulated. But Ferbsa starts us off on the right foot as Zell just goes for the swing, but gets traded back immediately. Rolling Thunder in response.
Yeah, Core doing a very similar to play what we saw Lucky 7 do, right? It's the heavy-handed aggressive push into the spawn, hoping to catch them off guard, but they're the ones punished this time. And Snarly once again will look to hold off. Does not get caught by the Hunter's Fury. Immediate reposition. And no tags get him, but he is paranoid. He's waiting. He could have a timing here if he catches them moving away, but the trip wire will make it so.
And I think right now you can tell the level of just teamwork that is being able to come through from Core. They're playing so calmly in these situations. You can tell how the map rotations kind of come around, what they're expecting, what's going on. Whereas Lucky 7, they're just kind of playing by the fleet of their foot. They're just going as quick as they can and, you know, adapting to the situation. But that results in a couple of mistakes. They will be able to at least take out this B site and more or less just completely take it over. So the spike should go down, but this is definitely still winnable here for Core.
The cam now looks up, gets a bunch of the info as to where they're set up here. It should be pretty much all on the outside, by B main. So it's going to be fighting on opposite ends. They're going to need this smoke to ensure a possible tap and then the fight from there.
Look at this. They're all grouped up just outside of the site. It's going to be interesting. A good fault line gets that concuss and Aftershock too. It's so good.
Yeah, they're just throwing all the utility at them. Force on reposition, if anything, but Tito with the spray on edge to get one. The spring, it's not hitting. He actually got it. They just went and stuck. There were 4 people there. No way, man.
Oh, geez. And this is one of the issues that I have with those types of strategies where, you know, okay, let's all play back. If we get smoked off, we can just spray through the smokes. When things get chaotic, when a lot of utility starts to come out, which Core have been doing an excellent job at keeping that available for them when they do play the retake, it's not a guarantee that you're going to be able to hit all the time. And that results in just being able to stick the spike like that. I mean, sure, it was good and they were able to secure the kill, but it was just a minute too late. As a result, it's an easy round for Core. They're able to buy rifles yet again. Well, Lucky 7. They're looking for those kills in order to really secure things out, but they haven't been very successful thus far.
Good one-way set up by Zip. Pays off this time, spraying through, but gets punished. Nerve on his back, though. Able to clean up the kill. Starting things off with Sug. Spike down once again for Lucky 7. Now, how do they reposition will be the question.
And they just kind of back it up again. Might be just playing off utility, but I want to point your attention to Chloric moving in the flank. That could be the pivotal piece that was missing.
Yeah, it could be big, but in the meantime, the rest of his team just died, so it doesn't really even matter as he also gets caught out. So they were ready for it too. One was watching the flank, and Core coming into these scenarios, Marcus, right? Always could see a man up because you saw they got 2 right at the beginning, and in a 4v3, you have enough to spend your resources.
And Core are looking fantastic on these retakes, exactly like you said. I think the plan for Lucky 7 is when they do take over that space, you can also tell with how they're placing their utility, they're hoping to find a couple of kills on the entry to enable that like numbers advantage where it's a lot easier for them to play that post plan. But Core have been extremely respectful of that and understand that their retake game is extremely strong. And so, hey, let's just get out of there, stay alive, and then we can all retake, and we're going to have a great time. And it's been a very flawless strategy for them thus far as Lucky 7. They're on a little bit of a weird buy this round.
Yeah, a bit of a potluck buy, I like to say. A little bit of mashed potatoes, some green beans, and then bread, essentially. So just scraps of what they could get. Currently, though, they're still looking to make things work where they can. Yeah, it was tough from Snarly. Puts out the ultimate, but first catches the first. Good flash. Starless pushes against him. First, clears out the rest. He gets Ferb and Nerve as well. Manages to find one more. Needs to corner them one by one. The paranoia to push them off. The plant's still coming in. It's 2v3.
This is going to be an interesting retake here. We still have a flash as well as the aftershock available with one smoke from Nerve. Meanwhile, though, Lucky 7, they've got a lot to play around. They've got the space, and they're not just playing all the way back. Already, we're seeing Tree go for this very deep lurk, but QOR are already here, Ravish.
They have all of Snarly's util if need be, alongside Kanpeki's, except the flashes. There's the fault line to come out. They'll trade that. Well, QOR's hiding in the corner. Surprise them, a little jump spots. And a second to get
I saw your secret.
another.
They made you
Cloric ready, fearless, pushing against them both.
And that's the strength if you play on site. Well, also, too, I think that a little bit of conditioning was happening because QOR had seen them play offsite so often that they were like, surely no one's going to be around this time. But Cloric in the right place at the right time. And on top of that, too, even if Cloric wasn't really able to secure that kill, we did have a Solo that was going to be very closely on the way, making sure that there was going to be this crossfire getting set up and not just kind of spraying through a smoke on the spike and hoping for the best. So excellent job coming in from Lucky 7. QOR now taking a timeout to kind of see what they can do. They don't really have the highest impact ultimates. Their economy is a little bit scattered as well. But honestly, I mean, it's when they get into these big gunfights, it's always kind of a coin flip to see who's going to be coming out on top.
I don't mind this timeout from QOR as well, too. Because I find it's at a pretty interesting midpoint where you have about 4 rounds left in this half, right? And remember we were saying that for QOR, we're looking to have at least more of an even half because their attacking halves are usually quite good. And for Lucky 7, they haven't voted too well according to statistics. But we'll see if that does manage to change, though.
here.
And now we're getting back into this one, so this time out also allowing Lucky 7 an opportunity to kind of see what's going on. They've been pretty much only hitting B site these last couple of rounds. And so to me, that's, this would be the time that you would try to change it up a little bit, especially after chatting with the rest of the squad. What's interesting here is QOR are going to be potentially playing a little bit more aggressive. We do see the Owl Drone try to go for a little bit of information, but upon hearing stuff, Tree might just want to back out of this one.
Gets one ping. Should know that at least the Cypher is on that side as well, too.
I have
It's setting up the fault line for A, right? Forcing anybody off that angle. Furps had definitely heard that TP. But the question is, though, does he want to actually peek it? And no, as he gets smoked off, though, he'll take charge of lane as he looks towards A.
And this is interesting. It's such slower play than what we're used to for Lucky 7. They're really taking their time on this one, but as a result, QOR, they're a little bit confused what's happening. They're still spreading themselves out, only finally making their way in as Cloric finds that first kill.
That's nice. And he gets the ult off that too. His ton of information. He pushes against them. Strawley and Nerve caught out within seconds as they get pinged, so they want to go for the fight. But now it's 1 by 1. QOR after that timeout. Fortunately, it was a bit of a broken buy, if anything, but are not able to respond in kind with anything. Their retake's dismantled. Now with just Ziff and Zeldris left, there's not a ton they can do. Some Ziff, especially with the classic.
Yeah, that one might be a little bit hard, but yeah, you never know. You might get a little bit lucky. Zeldris at least does have that rifle. Okay, Ziff not even going to be the right way, and actually Zeldris deciding to hold onto the rifle in the first, just into this next round, pad out the economy just a little bit more. So I think that this is the right call, but I liked what Lucky 7 did on this last round. QOR were expecting, hey, they're going to go fast. Hey, they're going to go aggressive. Let's set ourselves up to make sure that we can kind of counter that a little bit. But just changing up the pace was so annoying for QOR to try and deal with. And sure, weapon disadvantage, that definitely is a thing. But of course, Lucky 7, they come out on top yet again. Cloric even making sure Zeldris can't carry that rifle into this next round.
And if you look at the ecos right now, it's A-OK for QOR. They match stabilize after lost bonuses, a couple of light shields, but wanted more than willing to invest, if anything. I do want to point out, though, that they were 1 away from TR1's Haunter's Fury, which should be nice in terms of being able to find out more. But crucially, Ziff's Neural Theft is also alive here, too. So we're going to see if they can perhaps get an early pick and from there get all the information, which Cloric did last round and turned around completely.
Is that the outlaw?
Yeah, I was surprised seeing it too. I mean, I don't mind it. It's eco buy it, but like, let's see if we get something with it.
Yeah. So the thing about the outlaw, right, is like it is a 1-tap if you have light shields, but if you have full shields, it requires 2 bullets. So a little bit of an interesting buy here, but at the same time, if you are Lucky 7. once again, playing with the understanding that you will be able to find a kill, then it should be very easy to pick up a Vandal. And actually, it looks like that there is a Vandal just in the spawn. So that Outlaw gets, you know, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, I understand it. If anything, do they really have lead shields? Oh, he caught it over for one. Okay. First showstopper, TP. Oh! Into the corner. I thought he could go through walls, but he just gets stuck by them. Not Denny Phantom.
Yeah, sadly not gonna be able to go ghost on this one, but Zeldris still hanging out onto the site here. This could be deadly. But as soon as that information is given, Zeldris takes another second, is at least able to get a trade, but T-Dog was ready for it.
Yeah, good respawn quiet from Core as well, because they managed to find one well ready to set on trade angle. Speaking of which, no one there to true trade. Snarly, sadly, Kapeki managing sneak away. Still 3v2 though. T-Dog and Ziff are moving on over. No one heard the drop just yet. The fault line also there, but as well as on site. Shoots a little bit early, but they're gonna be so careful entering here. They just flash and peek them. Yeah, they're just getting floundered currently.
And this is why you bring in the breach. I mean, we've seen so many excellent fault lines just be so disruptive, so annoying, but at the same time, those flashes have been immaculate coming out from Konpeki, making sure that they're more or less able to secure a kill every single time. So just excellent utility usage. Ziff, though, just gonna now squirrel away that gun, save it into the next round yet again, because the economy for Core is still not looking great, while Lucky 7 do find themselves now at that 6 point.
Slowly but surely, they managed to make their way up as the back and forth continued, but it's been 3 in a row now for Lucky 7 after what have been some tough rounds and consistent defuses, some of which should not have happened. This as well was a little bit unfortunate, but hey, try the damnedest. But look at this, the Tito's are running around to try to, like, you know, get into the site as well, but they're right in the open. They don't have control of lane, so they only have one way. They can actually walk in, and that's all fully covered. Tough beans for Core.
Yeah, and on top of that, too, I mean, you can tell that Lucky 7 are playing with a little bit more respect in this latter half. After that timeout happened, they're playing things a lot more slowly, you know, being a little bit more careful with their utility and their angles of how they are choosing to engage. And that has been enough to kind of displace Core.
You say this, yet at the same time, they're not flooding into, right through Elbow, right? Pass one by one, tossing a breach and getting a fast take on A with a spike not going down just yet. Look at Burbsa. Should be caught by the trip, in fact, yeah. But Hunter's Fury put out. Spawn, there's trading on his Furies. He misses a shot. No, oh my, thank God he gets that. Stops at a shot early. Snarly again. Deeds to the dome and sends 2 home.
Yeah, and that is basically going to be it. Will's now the last person left standing, is able to at least get one. Keep in mind, the ultimate is ready, so we'll be able to scrape that up. But look at this, only 15 HP left. So literally even a Sheriff bullet will be enough to make sure that, you know, Omen goes down. But regardless, at least put the spike down, get the economy, make it a somewhat winnable scenario.
T-Dog is here.
Oh, it's over.
They're using the ultimate just for him.
He's
just concussed. Bro, he's standing there, head knocked in, doesn't even know what happened. He's like a boxer in the ring, like, did I win? No, dog, you didn't.
Just unconscious, discombobulated, confused on the ground, like, what's going on?
Yeah. He doesn't even know his last name.
Oh, man, yeah.
I think his mom's name is Mom.
Also, too, yeah, thank goodness Eldris was able to get that one up. This is one of the problems, I think, when they try to be a little bit over-aggressive. Lucky 7, I mean, I like what they did in, you know, let's push into their spawn, let's catch them off guard and be able to shut them down. But they used so much of their utility to just get the site, which pretty much they got for free anyways. They didn't have anything left in the tank to really secure that level of pressure. And so they just lose the neutral gunfight. But, okay, this time Furbsa kind of making up for it. We'll be able to get that first kill as they flood that A site.
Zeldris takes 2 off the corner as well. It was looking to be a 3P, but could not find the transfer. A good trade as well as Furbsa got to the site fast, but with this, they at least do have A. And look at the outside here, Marcus, right? You're seeing just 2 playing past the smoke and Ziff coming all the way around into the entrance.
Oh, important kill miss.
On 4. Damn. Wait, that was second. It was gone 3 consecutively. It was as though I was reading up 3 of my fingers and I said, what's up?
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna question that one. I'm just gonna give that one to you. But it was such an interesting way for them to decide to move in onto that one. I obviously Zeldris being in the right place at the right time is able to find 2 kills, making it a winnable round for Core. But overall, I think Core did what they set out to do, which was win as many defensive rounds as possible. We know statistically, Lucky 7 on the defense is not that good, and so this should be where Core can walk away. They got that 6-6 half. Lucky 7 have to now win 7 on their defense, which is historically bad if they want to be able to win this match.
Dude, watch us say this and Lucky 7 just win every round.
It's possible, man. I'm not gonna lie.
They just destroy. Look, to be fair, we're speaking off of stats, right?
Yeah.
So that's just what we've seen so far. The second halves have been tough for them. Meanwhile, Core has maintained stable on both sides, and defensive especially. And also, there is the moniker of Core have not dropped a single map yet throughout this entire OQ. So that is also something to be questioned and gone up against.
And right now, they are doing a pretty good job at just spreading themselves out. Lucky 7 just being a little bit more reflexive. But what's interesting about how they're setting themselves up is that there's a lot of potential just to kind of get isolated, allowing for an easy first pick just with isolation. But okay, hey, you go a little bit aggressive. You catch T-Dog with the bow in hand, and it should be a nice, easy kill. As a Core, they're ready to move on to this A site.
Check both corners. Will use the paranoia to actually get out, though. They're instead look to hold into sight instead, because with the 2 entrances, right, they're gonna have to make sure that they're not just completely overtaken. The smoke is good, slows them down a bit more. Will takes just some chip damage, but from here, another one might be caught. Gets the ping and is looking to go onto the side off the paranoia. Correct pops out, just a 1-for-1. As sees Zeldris gets wall banged and hit from Will as well on both sides, but that was the ticket they were waiting for. They divert their attention, but they have 10 seconds, and it's just Gnarly. He's not even gonna see the sight.
Yeah, that one is a tough one, to say the least. I mean, honestly, too, just that first initial pick that Lucky 7 are able to find. You see Tree just walk out and find T-Dog, immediately put so much more pressure onto that Core backline. We also got to see the recon dart get tossed into the just outside of A, and honestly scans 2 people, and you could tell that Core were like, oh snap, we have to go, and we have to go now. But at that point, they had taken so much time, and Lucky 7 had taken so much of the map that it was just a nice, easy setup for them to be able to group up and gun them down. Very easy on that pistol round.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. For all my The Seraphim fans. But
are you gatekeeping that?
What? I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm gatekeeping a very famous term. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Anyways. There's shot out early on to actually got the trip by entrance from B, so kind of signaling and to keep people there, but it's still a stack over by A instead of watching over by spawn and through instead if they move through. But like you said, kind of meandering around to see where they go. It seems like they want to try to move through mid to B, but I think real slow.
And this is an interesting setup on the defense. Lucky 7 more or less giving up mid completely, so it's going to enable this Core push to happen. But at a moment's notice, I mean, look at where that Breach and Raze are. They can swing around fairly quickly to put that additional pressure onto Market. And I think that is going to be the plan. Core will get that information, but Tree finds one, immediately gets traded.
Yeah, that's just 1-for-1 like you mentioned, but on the bonus too as well too. So they're looking to let's get as many guns out of their hands as possible. Is supposed to be planted. Swing Zeldris quick with the trigger. Can look to find more though, because look, he has a stinger. Otherwise, it's just stingers and clashes galore, and they're losing the fights one by one. Caloric wants more. 2v2 by the end of it. Spike continues to take down. Good swing from Ziff, and he finds both as he left, rights, and double dutches his way to another round.
I can't believe Core was able to win that round. I'm going to be honest with you. Like it felt like Lucky 7 had all of the right positioning, and the fact too that Korg was hiding inside of the smoke, able to survive still. Yet it's just Korg. They're able to drop that first weapon, you know, get that stinger off of Tree, and then it's just that stinger got maximum value. Sure, Zeldris got taken down, but the next person to pick that one up was able to find a kill, and it all worked out perfectly for them. So they're going to be able to bonus into this one while Lucky 7 are sent back. They do have a couple of sheriffs here, but now Core, they're starting to get that momentum ready to go. And right off the bat, they're able to flush Tree out.
Zeldris, quick double. Right, the double satchel into the double dome. Call him Dome, bro.
You're dating yourself with every single reference you drop, by the way.
But he's the owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. What do you mean?
Yeah, of course. Excellent fault line coming through, but Zeldris, excellent timing with those paint shells.
The paint shell will also take out the tripwire, though, unfortunately, but the smoke at least will slow them down more. Zeldris, surely you don't push into this, but holding him inside the smoke. They catch them off guard is nice as they trade entire clips. The flash for the setup, and one by one, they fall. Ziff and T-Doc at their back. And at the ready with just Will. Left above, hoping not give away any more alt points, but he does get pinged and just wants to die to the spike.
Yeah, at this point, you know, you get closer to yours, that's fine, but at the same time, it would be nice to at least take out one of them, looking for that, but just misses the timing here, goes in for more, but actually T-Dog is able to get the ultimate orb as well, putting T-Dog one away from having that Hunter's Fury online. But I mean, that was fast and quick coming in from Core, a little bit of a different look this time around, but they looked good at that execution, and Lucky 7 just completely caught off guard by the level of aggression that Zeldris was putting to him.
Yeah, and you saw this was actually very familiar to what Ferbs also did as well too, right? When the previous half, it was a double satchel in, but he usually did have one to two more teammates going in with him. But Core was never to be found on the sites. They were always playing very far back, you know, wary of those fast pushes, or just had Ziff there, so ready to set up with the one ways and to try to stop anything like of the sort. And again, very similar setup. Right, they play the shock dart. No tripwires are actually even there though. On both sides, Zeldris puts out the ult, but once again, nobody on site, nobody to be seen. Possibly toss it towards the back and may get some chip damage if anything.
Oh man, if he went the other way, Tree would have gotten got by that one. But Lucky 7 keep all their squad alive. It's going to be a 5v5 retake.
First time we've seen this, Tree going up pretty low. Hunter's Fury, like you mentioned previously, gets one tag, but push on the outside. The double swing is clean, and the shots in unison as though they're in the musical. The tap the Spire 3 playing away, but they pinged all of them. They know exactly where they are. They have to fight this. You're trying to find it, but Spray gets him. He stops the defusal, and just only left alive. Just him left alone. Back and forth, he tries to swing, cannot find it. And a much needed round for Lucky 7.
And Lucky 7's strategy that time around was very reminiscent to what we saw Core on the defense. You know what? Oh, Core, they're going to be coming in fast. Let's just give it up. They're going to drain all of their utility. Then we've got everything that we need to enter in very effectively. It almost felt like Lucky 7 were playing attack on that round with how quickly and sufficiently that they were running in and just retaking that site. And so, you know, moving forwards, given the fact that we've talked about how Lucky 7 have looked better on the attack, play that frag forward style, I think that that's something that they need to continue to employ. They're kind of giving up these opportunities where Core is able to isolate a couple of kills and the rest is kind of history. But if they back out, Lucky 7 still stand a big chance.
That may make it a little bit softer, but like I say, but still pretty even across the board.
I know exactly.
Quick flash. First, peeks right into it. And that ultimate will give so much info. They know all. They still want to put into this, in fact. They're on a save, so don't mind at all. They only lost Ziv, so it's fine. Gunfights galore. Easy peasy.
Yeah, at that time, it was just a numbers game that was going to make it a lot more easier for Core to just win out those gun duels. And look at this now, just a Bucky available for Tree. Still, you know, utility is available here, but it's definitely not an ideal scenario. Well, Core, they're going to be able to scoop this round up and keep a majority of their members alive. Well, that sometimes, you know, Ravish, that's just how these rounds play out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of a it is what it is moments. And again, we'll see Tree just walk in. I'll take the last bonus. and then try to also look to find one on the outside. But they've seen this movie before, but this time Zeldris will not be so lucky.
And okay, this is a good time now to talk about the entry that Zeldris has been doing, because I think, you know, when we look at the head-to-head of Ferbsa versus Zeldris, feels a lot more supported when they go for those aggressive angles. Obviously, it looks super flashy when you have your race fly in, just solo the side and take out 3 people. But you can tell that there's a lot more utility coming in when Zeldris goes for that entry, where the smokes are placed, where some of the flashes go. Those types of little things are enabling Zeldris to just have so much more success on these sites. And I think that that is a big reason why Lucky 7 are losing so many of these first bloods on their defensive half. Core as a squad feel a lot more coordinated and put together on some of these site executes, while Lucky 7, you know, like they were a little bit more puggy, a little bit more just like, hey, let's just go in for it and let's try and see what happens.
And currently, things seem okay. They'll wait for the smoke to dissipate before trying anything funny. Because look, they stay stacked one by one, holding pinkies, look to move into elbow, but ain't nobody there once again. You saw Big Ferb to try to peek around, but he's not brave enough to go into all 5. And this is different from what they've done before as well, Marcus, right? The 5 stick I haven't seen, it's been a lot of splits, but here, elbow all is one. Ferb does not get concussed, but does get out of the way.
And that's going to be important. Ferbsa being able to reposition, stay alive. They don't know that that move happened.
Good flash. Laser ready. Also the anti-flash as well too towards the backside. Hunter's Fury. Ready from tree. Got one ping, but just one though. But they know that elbow, if anything. As Ziff has made it onto the site with the breach. They pushed them all back with the ultimates. And with the wire down, so goes the spike. Oh, just barely stopped. He waited for that too. And watching with the cam, they don't need the spike down here, Marcus. All they need is a couple of seconds, but so does Konpeki. Spike down against 3. Pinged and shot.
Oh, fantastic stuff. And once again, when we talk about some of the plays that were kind of coming in there, also too, that's the second time now that we've seen that Rolling Thunder go through and hope for the best, but not be able to find too much from Lucky 7's squad. But you can tell Lucky 7, they're just like, all right, hey, let's disrupt them. And then we should be able to very easily entry in and be able to find everything that we need to. Fact of the matter was, though, at that point, even before the spike starts getting planted, Core have themselves set up into the positions to start holding those crossfires, which was something that we didn't really see Lucky 7 do on their attack. And I think that, you know, getting themselves set up and comfortable before putting the spike down is one of the bigger reasons why Core were able to just hold on to that site a lot easier, despite the fact that the Rolling Thunder was coming through.
And you saw that they set that up really early on as well, too, where, you know, on one end, they're like, all right, cool, we'll use that to clear the site. But as that came in with just them barely not being able to plant the spike down, and even though how tight it was, right, they decided instead, yo, we could back away, or we could be like, all right, y'all want smoke? Well, guess who just started a fire? Let's run it.
Yep, just a little bit of a tech pause here while we get stuff sorted out on this front. But looking forwards, I mean, it's starting to look a little bit dire for Lucky 7. Obviously, we had commented that historically they didn't look as good on their defense, and Core are finding all of the holes that they need to. We did see Lucky 7 have a lot of momentum kind of come into this like half. You know, they were looking pretty good on that very first pistol round, finding excellent timings. But when it comes down to those fundamentals, it looks a little bit more shaky than Core.
I mean, we said it consistently. It's about the fundies, right? Because the fundies give you hundies, Marcus.
Can you break that down for me quickly?
well, here's the thing.
Okay.
When you as a person are able to perform to your fundamentals in life, in breathing, in working, right? Then you able to make hundies off of it. Now, what else are hundies? You can call them, you know, Benjis, Benjamins, if anything, for longer term. Even labeling them as guap, guala, stacks, racks, and so on. So that is my personal philosophy. If you got your fundies down, then you can get your hundies up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I feel like that's just generally good life advice, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Didn't think I'd be hearing this on this cast. I'm going to be honest with you. But life lessons with Ravish. It's good. It's good. We're educational now too.
Dude, I've been educational, bro. I've been. You know what? Here's the thing. If I've taught you anything, then you are now my son. All right. So everybody right now watches my son.
Oh man. So once again, we do have a little bit of a technical pause. A mouse had died, so we're just getting that all figured out. And apologies on the cast. We've been saying tree, but that is in fact trick. So we will make sure that we're adjusting for that one. And thanks for people for pointing that out to us. And sorry to Trick.
My bad. Yeah. Hey, yo, my bad. Trick aim. Yo, my apologies. You know what? We even saw the roster too, and he was called it by the name. But also on the other end, hey man, just keep your name what it is, bro. How you change?
A little bit of a behind the scenes for working the production. It's always just like, who is this player? I think it's this person, but I'm not 100% sure. But maybe, let's just assume. Do we go with it? I don't know.
What if we called him by his government name?
I don't know about that one, buddy.
It's on VLR.
But like. Oh man. Well, while we're getting this set out, let's talk a little bit about Sunset here, because I think that so far, Lucky 7, when it comes to having I think one of the biggest reasons why they've been able to win some of these rounds, we talked about this and highlighted it a little bit before this map started. A lot of these players are very comfortable playing in some of this upper echelon style of play. And so when they're kind of coming into here, you can tell that there's a heavier reliance on some of those just, experience to carry them through some of those rounds. Whereas Core, I mean, it's a very practiced squad. And I think that level of consistency is just really helping Core win out this map.
Yeah, exactly. And they managed to find it one after the next, right? Which is impressive. But as right now, though, they're decently even, which is the thing. They're only just a couple away from being able to find perhaps maybe 1 or 2 rounds. But you mentioned it consistently. Sunset, especially their second half team, they have not lost a map just yet. The most rounds they've given up is just about 10. So Lucky 7, will you break these records? Or will you falter like the rest?
Moving into this next round, Lucky 7, they're going to be forced to go back onto a save. Of course, we do have Ferpsa at least have that showstopper. So if there is that overwhelming presence in Ferpsa's corner, well, you have a little bit of an escape that way. Not only will it blow up your opponents, but it'll push you back a little bit, give you a little bit more room to play with. But still, Core, they're ready to go. And if Core can steal this map, that would be huge, given the fact that Lucky 7 were the ones who picked this one. And the next map, Icebox, Lucky 7 don't look historically that good on it.
No. And Icebox has looked incredible for Core, like you're mentioning. Like they're dropping score lines of 13 1s and 2s. So it's tough. And this is technically a new Icebox as well. So that should bode well for them. But looking back on here, right, they'll use the drone to sneak around to find anybody there is up close, but they've rotated fully onto B. A is wide open. They're playing just 5 retake here. They're gamble stacking the site.
Flip a coin. Oh, it landed on B. And this might actually end up hurting them because a lot of utility gets utilized, but now Nerve is able to at least scout that one out, but actually gets out of the teleport. It really just looks like a big old stalemate between these two teams. I think Core were expecting a little bit more aggression from Lucky 7, but Lucky 7 now just really slowing down the pace.
Yeah, and it seems they're getting a bit impatient, so well looks for the peak, even one across the corner. The nade to clear out Ferbsa, and trading fault lines to put down a decent amount of chip, and they're still going towards B. They've fallen into their trap! And Snarly is stuck, but it does not matter because the rest come around onto the site. Just one for Mr. Trick Aim. Just him on his lonesome. That's away. We're getting that one.
That's so interesting, though, because Lucky 7, I mean, yeah, they gamble stacked it. They chose B site, and they actually chose correctly, despite the fact that Core dumped a bunch of utility to sell a fake that no one was even around to really get the information there. And you know what? After that, Core just got to decide, let's roll them on B and do exactly that. Excellent pressure coming in from Market, but Still, Core now once again ready to just send Lucky 7 home on their map pick. It's getting a little bit dicey here, but at least Lucky 7 will have a buy up this round. They look to potentially get a little bit more aggressive this time.
Let's see. And aggressive they do. Trick, right? Immediately finding the boy T-Dog. As clearly he did not drink enough Dr. Pepper today, sadly. So it's getting caught out like that. As again, that's the kind of stuff that they've been doing before, but with the Cypher picking the B instead. So that aggressiveness actually does pay off. Free first pick, and Russian can find one more shot. But nothing gained again, and he gets caught on the tripwire as well. So gives up his life, and for what? So 1 for 1.
Yeah, and on top of that too, just not getting any value out of that showstopper, unfortunately. I have to wonder whether or not that was intentional with the Cyber Cage to just leave enough of a gap that Ziff is able to find that spray through. But now, Core, they get themselves ready to move on to A. You could see Lucky 7. They're not sure what's going on, and this might make things a lot easier. But as soon as Snarly pops this, that's going to give an indication. And yeah, now Lucky 7 start to slowly make their way about round to this A site.
Yeah, Konpeki and Will actually looking through mid instead to just find somebody. And the calling over the rotates now as well. But Nate being gone, Zeldris has his. He's caught and stuck because the Fallen has to wait for the concussion to pass. And they all go across the corners. Nothing found, and just uses it to clear out close. But look at where they are here, Marcus. They're all coming in, and Will and Clork on one side, and the Breach on the other end.
I'm looking here, though. Trick gets caught out, and that is not going to be good for this retake.
That's down, but Clork manages to get one at least. He's watching towards the side, sees one in the corner. The Breach looks to walk in, but Starling gets caught, and to clear them all out, it's just Ziff left. Looking at one by one, the fight, and it's the boy Ziff with the ace.
Being a killer.
That is insane, Ziff doing an excellent job there. But yeah, Lucky 7, I mean, once again, they looked a little bit confused moving in onto the site. And you can tell that there is just a little bit more reliance on that experience, just being able to win out gun duels, hoping for the best there, but they don't have the information necessary. And that is where Core continue to shine. Ziff getting the ace. First of all, the Sentinel getting an ace on an attacking round. That's something, not something you see often, but Ziff has been killing it on this half.
One more. Quick peek. Sounders is so good about just double satcheling in, just finding one off rip. So with that, the easy open up sight. Lucky 7 got a retake.
And this is important. This is for the map right now. So Lucky 7, they do have 4 members still alive right now, but the weaponry isn't fantastic. It looks like actually Core are going to be moving all the way back and sending Zeldris around here as the retake from Lucky 7 gets underway.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No. I thought that was gonna close on it for sure. Okay, look at the discipline. He's flash, but that's just one though. They're defusing, they're sticking.
Attackers win.
But they don't got the nerve to stick all the way. And Core will take map 1.
For what it's worth, I think they were trying to stick all the way, you know, a little bit of a flashback to what happened in that first half there when we did actually see Core on the defense there. But that time it just worked a little bit better. And I got to admit, I mean, with how Core were playing that attack side, once again, their win condition really was to set themselves up on the defense. And I think that they 100% were able to do that against Lucky 7.
We knew Sunset was going to be the closest map that we had so far in this series, but remember, it is Icebox next. One that Core have looked incredible on. We'll see if Lucky 7 can look to make their comeback and take us to the full BO3, though. For now, we'll go to a short break. When we come back, we'll have map 2 in OQs. See you then.
The game starts long before the game starts. You get your gear right. Your keyboard, your controller, your controller's controllers, and the keys to your keyboard. Because warm hands are faster hands. Gain the upper hand and power up your pregame warm-up with Zippo hand warmers.